Apparently, a massive hack has taken place at the White House. Iran is taking credit for it. It's not getting enough attention, and they claim that they have the goods. The Trump regime is saying that this is horrific espionage and everyone's going to be held accountable. And one of the things I'm wondering is, what goods do they actually have? And why is the Trump regime so absolutely nervous right now about what Iran has? And doesn't it seem like cable news is trying to suppress what is really taking place right here? I mean, Reuters published it because somebody named Robert, who says they're representing Iran, says they have the goods on Trump and other people in the regime. They say they've got emails from Susie Wiles, Trump's chief of staff, Trump lawyer Lindsey Halligan, Trump advisor Roger Stone, and also additional information about porn star turned Trump antagonist Stormy Daniels. That's how Reuters refers to her. But didn't it seem that when there were Russian hacks of Democrats, the media was like, let me have it. We're going to publish it everywhere. We're going to make sites where we're going to push this out. But when it comes to the Trump regime, don't they seem a little bit scared? Because I'm sure you're not hearing this in a lot of places other than here. Reuters published it. Let's talk about what may be in there and why the Trump regime is likely terrified. Iran-linked hackers threatened to release Trump aid emails. Iran-linked hackers have threatened to disclose more emails stolen from Trump's inner circle after distributing a prior batch to the media ahead of the 2024 election. Oh, by the way, those really didn't make it out there. In online chats with Reuters on Sunday and Monday, the hackers, who go by the pseudonym Robert, said they had roughly 100 gigabytes of emails from the accounts of White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles and the other people who I just said. Robert raised the possibility of selling the materials, but otherwise did not provide details of their plans. The hackers did not describe the content of the emails. Attorney General Pam Bondi described the intrusion as an unconscionable cyber attack. The White House and the FBI responded with a statement from FBI Director Kash Patel, who said anyone associated with any kind of breach of national security will be fully investigated and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. The so-called cyber attack is nothing more than digital propaganda, and the targets are no coincidence. This is a calculated smear campaign meant to damage Trump and discredit honorable public servants who serve our country with distinction. I don't really think there are a lot of people who serve the Trump regime honorably with distinction at all in this fascist regime. And the Cyber Defense Agency, CISA, said in a post on X, social media posting a way through this crisis. By the way, how were the hackers so easily able to do it in the White House? What are you doing, CISA? What is your job? Or is it that the Trump regime doesn't use the protocols that need to be used, and it is easy to hack them? And then when they talk about sending war plans on Signal and talking about their war communications on Signal, maybe, just maybe, that foreign governments are targeting those things, which we actually know are not secure for the purposes of sharing classified information and sensitive classified information. And so, I don't know. I mean, when you think about the fact that the Iranian nuclear sites were not totally destroyed, uranium was able to be moved for Fordo and other locations, that now the regime admits that Iran probably can build a nuclear weapon now in about a year, which was basically the same assessment that the DNI Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, was saying before the United States struck Iran. There's really no difference in what Gabbard said before and after. Maybe Iran knew. Maybe they were able to move these things. Maybe Pete Hegseth and others were sharing this information on Signal chats, and maybe Iran's able to have access to that. Who knows what else Hegseth and everybody is talking about. It says Halligan, Stone, and a representative from Daniels did not respond to a request for comment. Eric Geller talked about how Iran's APT-42 Charming Kitten hacker team is conducting targeted spear phishing attacks as well on high-profile Israeli national security and also going into the U.S. This hacker over here, former CIA hacker who was on with Matt Gaetz, to his credit, this was June 19th, 2025. And this guy predicted, I think Brawler could have predicted, that the hacks were going to take place. Here, take a look at this.
Do you believe right now Iran is in the planning or execution stages of cyber attacks against the United States?
absolutely. I wish this wasn't the truth, but I believe within the next 30 days, you're going to see a massive cyber attack. All of the indications are there. Everyone's ganging up on Iran. You're seeing a lot of tension building, and they cannot compete on the military front. On the physical front with airplanes, weapons, there's no way they can compete with the United States and Israel. But on cyber, they are very, very advanced. Remember, Stuxnet attacked their nuclear reactors. Yes, they were a victim, but when you're a victim of a cyber attack, you also get access to all the code. So they actually have all the code that was used to break into their nuclear reactor. They now took that and they can use that against us to break into our nuclear reactors.
There's Halligan right there, who's serving as one of Donald Trump's attorneys. And so one of the things I think it's fair to ask, though, is do the hackers have the Epstein files? Have they been able to get that? Are they looking into things like that? I don't know. But one of the things that we know is that the regime has been covering up the Epstein files. And what other national defense information other than potential Iran strikes could they have? I think it's important to note that, you know, and to question why is it this time, you know, that it's treated differently, let's just say, for Democrats than it is with Republicans. Here's Anna Paulina Luna insisting that she pushed for the DOJ hard to go and get the Epstein files, but nobody's talking about it. Play this clip.
The one thing I've been very frustrated with, Matt, is that I have tried very hard to obtain the Jeffrey Epstein files. I have been contacting the Department of Justice. I've even chased down the FBI, and I keep getting the same thing. We are reviewing documents. I don't believe that the process has been as good as the JFK rollout and the MLK and RFK rollout will be. And so I'm going to continue to put pressure on the DOJ to release that information. Look, there's bad people that haven't been charged for doing really horrible things with underage people. And frankly,
has the DOJ given you any timeline on that, Anna?
No. In fact, I haven't really gotten any communication from the DOJ.
Here's Jared Moskowitz back last year calling out Trump for his Epstein connections. Let's play it.
And so again, because the gentle lady from Georgia, I know is such an advocate for women's rights, as she mentioned, and is so concerned about grooming. And apparently, we don't have any standards here anymore. Again, I just want to remind my colleagues, because, you know, I don't want them to forget about hypocrisy, okay? I don't want them to forget about hypocrisy. But, you know, Donald Trump was asked about Jeffrey Epstein. And when he was asked, he said, you know, Jeffrey likes him young. Well, how did the president know that? How did he know that Jeffrey Epstein likes him young? Perhaps some people are saying he was there, since you're so concerned, right? But again, I bring this up not to make jest. I bring it
Point
up.
of order, Mr. Chairman.
I bring it up. I thought we weren't going to interrupt.
We're going to stop the clock. We did this with Ms. Green. State your point.
Yeah, I'm just curious about the impugning of the former president's character. That
I don't have to do that. He does that himself.
Have we basically thrown that rule out? I'm just curious, or are we going to follow that rule?
Would you accept a pornographic photo?
Of Bill Clinton?
Yeah, we suspended the rule to the current president, but we didn't suspend it to the former president. But.
Oh, by the way, please. So you're making the point that we can disparage Joe Biden, but not Donald Trump. Please make that point to the American people. Mm-hmm. Please. Bill Clinton's not running for office.
That's my point.
What does Elon Musk know right now? Remember this on Rogan, where Elon Musk said that he believes that Trump's on the Epstein files, or he didn't say believes. He goes, Trump's on the Epstein files. That's why they're covering it up. And are those people being targeted in any way to get at those files? Let's play it.
This is going to come up because it's been going on since we've been recording here. Elon and Trump seem to be in a bit of a spat. Joe, you want to check the tweet that Elon just put out a little bit ago?
Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Jesus Christ.
I'm not participating in any of that conversation
What
between
is he?
Elon
Have
and
a
Trump.
nice day, DJT. Someone should take his phone away.
They're going back and forth about different things. And
Yeah. Listen,
Well, he said he was disappointed in Elon.
yeah, they told him to leave.
Jesus Christ, that's a crazy thing to say. How does he know? Does he know that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files? Or does he have access to the Epstein files?
I don't know how he would, but I'm just staying out of the Trump Elon thing. That's way outside my lane.
What the fuck are they doing?
I know my lane, and that ain't it.
I just don't. I mean, I understand he owns Twitter. I think it's bad for your mental health. I think posting things public all day and arguing with people all day is bad for you.
Well, you raise a great point. Sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Half of what we have to respond to is the click army on social media.
Here's what Alex Jones had to say. Let's play it.
Our reports, and there's supposedly the first tranche of it's coming out today, that James O'Keefe's, one of the two big stories he's breaking is about someone in the Trump administration covering up Epstein. And then he put out a little short trailer yesterday that shows an image or still shot of video of Pam Bondi. But he wouldn't even say who in the administration. I made some phone calls, and I told the crew over the weekend, I said, it's Pam Bondi. According to my sources. And because the White House already knows about this.
Here's what Pam Bondi said a little bit ago. Let's play it.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president. Not yet. I was briefed on that yesterday. I can't talk about that publicly, but President Trump has given a very strong directive, and that's going to be followed.
Wow. Okay. So
a lot of documents.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So people can expect actual movement on this. It's not just empty promises.
Oh, Donald Trump doesn't make empty promises.
Yeah, right.
I think promises made, promises kept.
And here is what Donald Trump's, one of Donald Trump's, Tom Fitton is like one of Trump's legal advisors. Not a lawyer, this guy, but he's been one of Trump's top legal advisors. He wants to see those Epstein files as well. Let's play it.
We've asked for these records not once, not twice, but 4 different ways. We still haven't gotten an adequate response or no response virtually. And so now we're in federal court. And the best way, and this is what I would recommend to the Trump administration, and if they're going to be releasing records and being transparent, which as I think they should at least endeavor to release the records through the FOIA process. Doesn't mean you don't widely release them. And I'm not saying don't just get them out. But you have to be aware, to the degree there's litigation or FOIA requests pending, that the way to reassure the public that there is accountability and that there's no material that's been withheld by the deep state is to be in court or use the FOIA law, because that process is put in place.
So I think one of the questions that you have is that what is in this hack that has the Trump regime so worried? Why isn't news talking about this hack any more than they should? And I'll just remind you of this. Remember when Donald Trump was on Fox and he seemed to be absolutely terrified when asked if he'll declassify the Epstein files? Here, play this clip.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would.
So we'll keep you posted if we learn more, of course, here on the MeidasTouch Network about the Trump's response, what's happening. Are there other cyber attacks that are happening and being directed at Iran? It seems that with all of the lackadaisical security measures, the Trump regime is fairly easy target for these. We'll keep you posted, though, every step of the way here on the MeidasTouch Network. Thank you so much for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.meidastouch.com. All 100% USA Union made.